Hello everyone. Unfortunately, last week we had a storm, and many of you experienced power outage, a water issue, and very freezing temperature. In our context, I mean operations management, we call this situation as a natural disaster. And if you have a business, you have to prepare for the potential disasters. We call this preparedness as a business continuity management. So I just wanted to use this time to introduce one of the most important approach in risk management, operations management. So let's start chapter 6. Chapter 6 is about process selection and facility layout. In chapter 6, you'll be familiar with the process selection, what that means, process, what that means, layout, what kind of layout do we have, and so on. So let's talk about process selection, what that means, process selection. Formally, process selection refers to deciding on the way productions or goods or services will be organized. If you remember systematic perspective in chapter 1, if we consider process selection based on a system view, it has inputs, it itself do some processes on inputs to produce outputs. Its input or forecasting, customer demand value, product and service design, and the technology that you have in your business. It collaborates with the capacity planning. It has to know the maximum level of your capacity, and the output is layout. Work design or layout or design of facility and equipment are the same. When it comes to a strategy, there are two key aspects in process strategy. The first one is capital intensity. Simply speaking, capital intensity is your resources, equipment, labor, employee. And the second one is process flexibility, the degree to which system can be adjusted to unpredicted changes in your processing requirement. For example, if you have oscillating in your customer demand, or if you have some technological changes, how much you are flexible to be adjusted for that change. When you want to select a process for your business, you have to ask two key questions. The first one is how many types of products you have, or how many types of products you produce, how many types of service you offer. This is the first question, the variety. The second one is quantity. How many products you produce? How much volume will the process need to be able to handle? So when you have answers of these two questions, you can select one of the four common types of process that here we have in here: job shop, batch, and continuous and repetitive, that sometimes it's called the assembly line. Here in this table, we have a short description for each one, advantages and disadvantages. For example, in job shop, we don't have standardized goods or services. Your products are customized based on that station that you're working on it. And its advantage is you can handle a wide variety of work in that station. Its disadvantage is its total cost is high, it's pretty high compared to the other types of processing like assembly line. And let's talk about assembly line little, because job shop and batch, they are kind of similar. In assembly line, we have a kind of similar work on products. It's doing the same task on products that we call it standardized goods or services. Its advantage is your total cost is lower than other types of process like job shop, and disadvantages are you have a low flexibility regarding changing your production line. If you establish an assembly line, it's difficult to change it. It's expensive to change it, and the flexibility is low. That's why they say the flexibility is low. So when you wanna select a process type, it's better to consider sustainable production. So sustainable production, please don't confuse the sustainable production with the environment friendly production. Here we have a formal definition of sustainable production. Sustainable production is the creation of goods and services using processes and systems that are environment friendly, economic friendly, or we can say economically efficient, and also it has to address the social aspects. So when you want to select a process, it's better consider these three pillars at the same time: economy, environment, and society. As we know, the technology has the significant effect on our process, on production activities. For example, process technology like the new equipment, advanced tools in your production line, or information technology methods or tools to manage your information. When it comes to technology, you have to use the new advanced technology to be competitive in the market. So we have a concept of the automation that many manufacturers use in their production line to be super fast regarding production speed. We have a terminology CAM, or computer aided manufacturing, and we have some machines that you program the design of the part or products, and that machine produces that part for you. Some people call it CNC machines, computer numerical control, or numerically controlled machines. And we have robot. Please don't confuse with the human robot. Even a simple mechanical arm in production line, it's called robot. What is layout? Layout formally refers to configuration of departments, workstations, or facilities within your business to produce a product or offer a service. For example, in grocery layout, the location of food department, meat department, and dairy department is a layout. So when we have to change layout or make a decision about layout, when you have new facilities or when you want to do some improvement, you have to redesign the layout. You need to improve your layout when your operations are inefficient. What that means, inefficient here, inefficient, it means your total cost is high, or you have bottleneck in your production line. Sometimes to follow new policy regarding safety, you have to redesign your layout. Sometimes due to a new product or service, you have to redesign your layout. Or sometimes you have a new customer demand, so you have to adjust your production line to address your new customer demand. Let's consider the COVID era. Many beer companies and wine companies, they adjust their production line to produce sanitizer. So with the few changes, they boost their benefits in market. So we discussed when we need to layout planning. So similar to reasons for layout planning, we have some objectives. Basic objective is reducing total cost of your products or avoiding bottleneck. Some other objectives are minimizing material handling cost or design for safety. Is the same objectives and needs for layout planning. So let's talk about layout, common types of layout. We have 4 basic layout types: product layouts, process layouts, fixed position layout, combination, mixed layouts, or hybrid layouts. Let's talk one by one. Product layout. Product layout is a layout in which we have standardized processing operations to achieve a super fast flow. We have serial stations to work on raw materials to provide the final products. This layout used for repetitive processing or assembly lines. There are advantages and disadvantages for product layout. I just mentioned a few of them. As advantage, higher rate of output. In other words, we have high speed in our production line in product layout. The second advantage is your total cost is lower compared to other layout types. As a disadvantage, you are not too much flexible to the market change or customer demand change. Process layout. In process layout, there are different departments that each department has its own specific process. Product or customer can go through all departments or a few of these departments. Similar to product design, there are advantage and disadvantage of using or employing process layout. As advantage of the process layout is, in process layout, each station or department can address a variety of required work or process. And as disadvantage, your in-process inventory is higher than other types of layout. So here we have example for process types and layout types. We have here operating room for a job shop layout. we have a bakery for a batch process, and we have a machine, auto industry as an assembly process, and we have a finery as a continuous process. So the first two, job shop and batch process, usually is kind of process types. And the third and fourth one, assembly process and continuous process, is kind of product types. So let's talk about the third one, fixed position layout. Fixed position layout refers to a layout in which the product or project remains stationary, remain fixed, and worker, materials, and equipments are moved as needed, like shipbuilding, like aircraft manufacturing, like space mission project. Sometimes we call these kind of layout as a one-off project. So let's talk about the last one, hybrid layouts. In hybrid layout, you use a combination of 2 or even 3 layouts for your business. For example, hospitals, they have 2 kind of layouts. They have a different layout for their emergency rooms and regular buildings. Or supermarkets. Supermarkets also have 2 kind of layout. They have a small layout for a fast shopping, and they have a larger one. In hybrid layouts, we have 2 famous terminology in manufacturing domain. They are cellular manufacturing and flexible manufacturing systems. Cellular production is a layout in which workstations are grouped into a cell that can process items that have similar processing requirement. I posted movie in Canvas to show you how a cellular production looks like. And also we have another terminology as a group technology. In group technology, actually you are grouping a bunch of activity that are similar together in a group for processing on raw material. So it depends which characteristic you use for grouping. It depends your product, it depends your business, your technology. As an example, some use size, shape, or function for grouping the activities. So far we talk about product layout. Just for clarification, in chapter 6, when we say products, we mean the tangible items, goods. And in service layout, it's kind of similar to product layout. We can classify it in a product, process, or in a fixed position layout. When we are working or considering service layout, we have to consider 2 factors. The first one is degree of customer demand, and the second one is degree of customization of your service. Degree of customer contact, it means how much your customer is involved in service. You can compare the salon example or an online service. And degree of customization is how much your service can be customized based on your customer order. We have 3 common service layouts. The first one is warehouse and storage layouts. You want to minimize the item movement. And second one is retail layouts, influence customers into buying more. And the third one is office layout. Just for office layout is increasing the employee interactions. Line balancing. Line balancing is a process to assign tasks to workstation to equalize all workstation in terms of time. Actually, it's important because it makes your production line more efficient. It reduces the total cost of the products, and it provides a fair workload for all stations. And that's why line balancing is important. Cycle time. Cycle times refers to maximum time allowed at each workstation to complete its set of tasks on a unit. Or we can say cycle time establishes the output rate of a line. So I address the cycle time in quantitative problems in a separate video. Yeah, I think we're done with the chapter 6. Let me know if you have any question. I can walk through it and explain it and give you more details and example. Yeah, have a good time. Bye.